So we're at Superbooth 2017 with Intellijel. We're going to check out some raw sounds on the Plonk and some updates to the Tetrapad as well. Daniel, how's it going?
I'm good. I'm doing well. It's been a busy couple of days here.
Yeah, busy, really busy. So let's explore Plonk.
Okay. So I have just a really basic patch here right now, and you can hear this is the string model. Just gonna go down in the pitch. You can hear that's actually pretty good bass response on this.
Throwing some low end around the room.
So right now there's almost no noise in this. So the exciter part is a model of a mallet and an envelope noise source. So I'm gonna bring in some more noise, and I'll bring up the decay on the noise.
It almost sounded like just a trigger at the start. Yeah, a really clean pulse.
And that noise right now is a bit granular because the density on it is at 50%. So I'm going to go to the noise density, increase that. Now let's try a different model. So we're going to go to
two orange LEDs. Is this how the voices overlap?
That's right. So it's in two voice modes, so you can see which voice is being triggered, and because they're reasonably close, there's some overlap. If we had more sparse triggering, then you would see one decay and then the next one. But you can, in the object menu, you could go and select monophonic instead. And then even though it's showing the triggering, it's actually, you would hear, if I have this overlapping, it's cutting itself off. If I go back to this, now you can hear the overlap. So it's good to hear a few more of the models. So that's pretty different from the last couple. This is a drum head. Let's try
that kind of one lug on the drum skin, out of tune kind of vibe. I play drums, so I instantly recognize when the tension's not quite even on the skin.
And then this is another type of drum module that's based on a membrane. And then plate is the last one here. So I can, we have a range here of a few octaves, but I can go press that button and increase it. Let's bring that back down. So right now in these controls, I've got the ratio of mallet to noise that I'm adjusting. So that's 100% noise, that's 100% mallet.
And that's CVable?
Yeah, all that's CVable, but we could also quickly select something else. So let's, for this one, do noise cutoff. So
there's lots of shaping of the excitation as well.
Totally, or object parameters too. So I'll go to, this is the position of where the plate is being hit. Let's try.
Like moving the pick up and down a string, or where a stick hits a drum membrane.
That kind of thing, yeah. So we can go. And so those two you can modulate, and then there's a third mod that doesn't have a dedicated knob, but it has access to all the same parameters as the other ones, plus some additional ones for stuff like CV selecting presets, morphing between two presets, randomizing, and I don't know if I already said it, but like styles of choking. Yeah.
How the notes overlap.
Exactly. And then there's some generic config stuff, like how the accent jack, the velocity jack, what it does, whether it's acting as a velocity control or an accent. So dynamics, volume, or.
So that can be a sort of gated accent or CV, a smoother CV or stepped CV.
So yeah. So whether your volume is going to be at a constant, and then you can spike it with the external, or if it's controlling the level from 0 to, yeah.
More standard VCA style.
Yeah, exactly.
Just control of the out.
And then the ability to transmit presets, initialize all sorts of utility stuff. And then of course we can store and load presets.
So since NAMM and the last showing of the Tetrapad, there's a few new features we'll run down.
So at NAMM we had a different kind of LED. Now we have full RGB LEDs. Oops, if I just pick the mode here, you can see like the colors all mean something. So it's the type of output that it would be. So that way, if you don't have the manual, you start.
It's going to become really quick.
Yeah, it should be. So for example, green always means some kind of gate. Blue is internal CV generation, stuff like that. So this mode I've already shown before, which is just position and pressure. But what's new is there is a tension control. So if I turn this up, I'll turn it up more. As I'm holding, it takes time to rise and fall.
Okay,
and
adds a lag.
We've started to play with some other ideas around like physical modeling of vibration and stuff. That we want, so that you can basically a disruptor or something, so that you have something that you can manipulate and move, and then it's going to bounce around.
Kind of like bouncing ball its way back down.
Yeah. So this is when it's in latching mode here. Now I've got means that if I'm trying to do many things at a time, I can kind of set modulation rates, and let's latch that one too. And then these things are all happening while I go and do other stuff. It's.
The idea of it sort of fading in and out is really nice for performance, because you can't physically move everything in and out of a transition on a modular. You know, if you want to move a filter and your drum rhythm and your sequence, it's nice to sort of go, you raise up for a minute and move around the system.
I had a patch earlier today where I was using this for pitch shifting on the Rainmaker, and so I could basically do like tape bends on it and then go up and do other things, and
kind of feel.
And while you're doing this, you could get you have pressure control too. So then I was able to do like feedback depth, and yeah, it's nice to have those extra dimensions and then kind of that time lag to play with too. So in chord mode, which we've shown at NAMM too, we've added the ability to, if you press and hold, you can change octaves of things really quickly, and so green and the different colors will. So green and the different levels will tell you if it's up a few octaves or red is down a few octaves. That's strum mode. This one is new too. So now we have 4 LFOs. So you can set the rate of those all simultaneously, and then you have pressure. So if you're using these to modulate different things, you can have the pressure assigned to be like the FM index.
The rate.
Yeah,
on the
exactly. So you can.
We should say as well, obviously this won't come across on anybody's video, but it feels really nice to use as well. Feels really tactile.
Yeah, that's cool. And you can see if I can actually use a water bottle or something. It's not capacitive touch, so it doesn't really matter. It's not dependent on the sweat on your fingers or anything like that.
Having to lick your fingers before you use it.
And then this one is a new mode too. It's just a simple switches, but it's just a nice convenient thing to have. So you have the ability to turn 8 things on and off very quickly.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for running us through the updates and sounds on the Plonk.
Cheers. Thank you.